Good morning, Rabbi Sai. What's your name, Tzaddik?
Shaul Yaakov.
Shaul Yaakov what? Shaul Yaakov. Yaakov. Yaakov is your last name? What's your last name? What? Vakshal. From Harnof, right? You were here last night. So you didn't go back yet?
Today I'm coming.
Very nice. Gewaldig. Well, else we have a few guests here. Oh, what's your name? All the way in the back. You know, there's like a bunch of empty tables. It's Sunday morning. What's your name?
Shmuel Foreman.
Shmuel Foreman from?
West End.
West End. Shalom Aleichem. Your friend. I'm sure you know the Rebbe. Awesome. Oh. And you in the back with the MDY Tzahal cap. I've seen you, but were you in cheer or just I saw you in pictures? In cheer also. So you have the patch on the Gewaldig. Who else? That's somebody over here, no? Hiding. No, okay. Huh? Like the factors there. We have one of the most exciting dapim shas. Very, very exciting. Also very short for Sanhedrin. Very short. I want to read some of these emails. Gewaldig stuff. Oh, yeah, you're new. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Mark Nadell.
Mark Nadell?
His brother-in-law.
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 It's a good one. It's a good one. All right, listen to this. It's a moving email in a way from Shoal, a borough parker. Dear Rebelli, I'm 65 years old. This is a real email, seriously. There's a lot that we can learn from this email. I'm a 65-year-old borough parker. He writes B-U-R-A, borough parker. Haven't really learned since I left yeshiva. I would have never dreamt that I'd be here writing you this email and being so emotional about it. Especially since I made fun of so many people that listen to your shir and you. He's serious. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've changed my life. To keep it short, I need to remain anonymous because if my wife finds out, she'll be really mad that I listen to my shir that has a chup. MS, this is MS. Sorry, still have that issue of making fun of people, but I can't help to say he's being serious. He's being serious. But I can't help to say, keep up the amazing work. You have no idea how powerful the shiurim are for me and what they do for my ruchnius. I'm sad to even think I may have caused some people to drop out because of my harassing them, but hopefully this will be a chizuk to help someone join. At kan. That's the whole email. So I'm saying to Reb Shaul, whatever your name is, it's
not the beard?
No, his wife was worried. So I'm just saying that you have to go back to the bemis. You have to go back. You have to get people to join the shir. You have to do tshuvas. I'm not joking. If he caused a person not to learn Torah, not to have a different life, you gotta do something about it. You can't just write about it. You gotta do about it. But you're on the email. It's the beginning. 100%. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying that we got to do something about it. And I know of many, many people. Should I say this, Barabim? Our CEO gets harassed by his own mishpacha. How can you learn from a guy that speaks in English without a beard? I was like, but upset. They're upset at him. Mishpacha, close mishpacha. Azoy is. Sometimes chitzonis makes a difference to people, and
Chaim says you have to have a zechus to support things. So some people have zechus.
Yeah, no,
we don't have that zechus. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's not just the support. He supports. I'm talking about learning Torah, just learning, gaining from somebody. The boy said this is also chitzonis. I like this stuff. I hope this doesn't hurt somebody's feelings, but to me, I'm very into this kind of stuff. So here it goes. I spoke about, especially the guy that takes. I have an issue here in Eretz Yisrael. People, I've noticed, and I think I spoke about it. They take 3 steps back by Shemona Esrei, but if there's like a bench or something, so they go sideways. So I saw Bachrim that even if there's no bench behind them or nobody, they're going sideways. They're so used to going sideways, they just go sideways. And this is not in this video, but close to it. Here we go. Rabbi said, check this out. Best types of Shemona Esrei. If you haven't seen this, you're not all. The deep bender. David. Which one are you? That's David. That was the fist pumper. Who's the negotiator? The no income and has 9 kids guy. All right. Shtickle Itzanas Sunday morning. Aaron Harach. I went to yeshiva, basically you shouldn't say yeshiva, in Zchut, in Borough Park. There's a Harach in my class. I don't know. I'm sure they're related. Listen to this. Watching at the mechanic shop. He doesn't have a smartphone, this guy, so he has to use somebody else's tray for device. But for the right thing, I saw the new screen at the mechanic shop, so I asked him if I can watch from my office on it, and he said, sure. I figured with screen, mirror, and voila, whatever that means, okay? His mom is in the middle of the mechanic shop, in that guy's mechanic shop.
Voila, it's there.
I got it. Maybe. So I spoke about Walter Carey. He schlepped me to the Sima Shas in, 1982 or something. Mark Ashkenaz says, I was there, and then I started doing the I was also there. So what's interesting is, and I mentioned this.
You were there?
Whenever. Tavshim Mem Gimel. When was Tavshim Mem Gimel?
Yeah, 82. You were at the 82 one?
Yeah, with the Kleisenberger. I was 10 years old. I think so. Makes sense. Yeah. No, I was born in 72, so 82. I was 10 years old. So says the email. Listen to this. It's a small world. It's a little circle. Hey Rebelli. Hi Rebelli. I watch your Daf Yomi shir daily, every day. And you mentioned my grandfather, Walter Carey, Olav Shalom, on today's shir, Erev Shabbos. I never had the opportunity to meet my grandfather as he passed 7 years before I was born. And the stories I hear about him and the kesher that we have. I would love if you can share the story in depth over email about the Sima Shas with the Kleisenberger Rebbe. Please stay in touch. What's this guy's name? Yontif Carey. That's Walter Carey. And then I'll say the story real quick because a lot of people looked at me like I was crazy. So my father asked me if, I'm not going to write you an email. I don't have time to write emails, so I'm saying the story now instead. My father asked me if I want to go to the Stipler. He's going to ask for a bracha. This guy, Walter Carey, who my father was very friendly with, asked him to go ask for a bracha from the Stipler. So we went to the Stipler. Of course, any opportunity I had to go. We didn't have a car, so we walked to Rehov Rashbam from Ramat. It's not so far. Ramat Hanan to Rehov Rashbam, where the Stipler lived, like a few buildings away from where Reb Chaim, the Tzal, lived. So anyway, we go to him. My father had a big magic marker, and he called it the Stipler magic marker. He hid it on the top shelf. That he should have a magic, because the Stipler was hard of hearing then. So he wrote, Yontif ben, whatever it was, Sarah, for Atzlach and Parnasa. So we go to the Stipler. I was there, I saw this with my own eyes, but I was a kid then, 10, 11 years old. And my father gives him this thing, the Stipler looks at it, he goes in Yiddish, Sinido azan nomen. There's no such name. So my father starts screaming in his ear, Yontif ben Sarah, Sinido azan nomen. Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So we walk away. My father was like a little, dejected. And we go home, and my father calls up Walter Carey. He says, we went to the Stipler. Is this your name? He says, yeah, that's my name. He says, but the Stipler says it's not your name. I said, okay, fine. Half hour later, or hour later, Walter Carey calls my father up. He says, you're not gonna believe this. I called my brother. I told him the story. My brother says, idiot. Mom's name was Sarah Chaya, not just Sarah. So my father said, okay, let's go back, let's try it. He goes back, Sarah Chaya, bam, he gave him a bracha. Ma'isa Shahaya, I was there, I saw you could ask my father, he's still somewhere, I don't know, in Florida, ask him, I was there. That's the person. So now I know the name, Yontif. Every time I said the story, Yontif, and here it is, Yontif. Even though they called him Walter, I always said the story with Yontif. Ayin, ask Yisrael Goldstein, he'll find you the story with Yontif. Shraga Schiffman. Here's a Persumet Smuya, he writes. And if you look closely, here's a guy riding one of those electric bikes with a Siyum, the MDY logo. It's Tarafti. I'm learning Sanhedrin. I'm on vacation, and here I am. I never miss a daf. Yishukach Dubi Weiss. And this is all in Hebrew. Oh, this is very important. Rabbi said we have a great guy. His name is Nechama Seltzer, and he has a little video message for the Olam, and then we're going to start learning.
Good morning, Rabbi. Shut up. You're right now.
Yeah, hold on, I'm going to get there. You know what I'll say before? This boy needs a shidduch. He's a great guy, very talented, has a lot of followers, but he's a great guy. What does he do? He's a working guy. He's a great personality, huh? He learns in the yeshiva by relief, by you. Oh, he learns in the morning, he does the daf. Great guy, all around guy. If somebody has a shidduch for this guy, he's a big chaver man. Here we go. How old is he?
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Here right now, in the middle of the square in Rome, where you would see a plaque here, and you would think nothing much of it. But this plaque is symbolic in the sense that this is where the Romans burnt in 1553 September. They burnt Talmudim.
A lot of Gemaras.
Thousands of Talmudim by the Pope Paul IV. Something disastrous for the Jews. But as it says over here, Svarim can get burnt, but the letters spread. As you can see, almost 472 years later, Torah and Talmud are still spreading, and we're still here.
All right, in Rome. The Masechta sponsor for Refuah Shelaima for Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama from his grateful family. The Masechta for Hatzlacha Barухnיות ובגשמיות. The Masechta Larry Cohn in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. The Masechta for the unity of the Jewish people. The Masechta Glenn Esterson with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. 5 Parnasa Chodesh. Eli Stefansky Ben Moshe Eli Stefansky Bas Yosef. Zchut Parnasa Birevach for Baruch Tzvi Nissim Ben Shoshana. Parnasa Chodesh with a course of Torah from Anonymous. Parnasa Chodesh Shprintzy Alan Gross. Shelaima Ben Yitzchok Isaac Zchut Birevach Ben Yovan Isaac Ben Tzvi Hirsch Cohn Zchut Birevach. And for the Refuah Shelaima, Yosef Ben Batsheva Bracha. By Leon Welcher for the speedy release from house arrest of Ari Rosenfeld. Aaron Ben Hinda Esther Gittel Rosenfeld. Ari Rosenfeld. The Coil of the month, sponsored by HYK Ventures in honor and for the success of all our clients. Yishkoyach, Parnasa Shavua, Eli Stefansky for Zchut for our family. Parnasa Shavua, may this Zchut merit a shidduch b'korov for Tzipora Bas Min Lester. I don't know who she is. Maybe it's a great shidduch with Nechama Seltzer. Parnasa Yoim, Lila Nishmas Rivka Leah Bas Rib Shaya HaKoyen Chofei Shvat Tovshin Pei Aleph. And by Abba Renner, the one and only, Leilu Nishmas, Haravat Tzadik, Rav Mordechai, Programanski, Zchet Tzadik Levrocha, one of the greatest Gdoilim, nifter 1949, Chofei Shvat, without children. Wow, I didn't know that. Mordechai Programanski. I said a bunch of stuff from him. I think it's also Rabbi Yisrael Salanter's Yarsai today. Is it? No, I think it's this week. With children, and is buried in Beis HaKfar, Shomri Shabbos in Bnei Brak. If anybody wants to go to his caver, Beis HaKfar, Shomri Shabbos in Bnei Brak. Art of the day, Rabbi Isai. Anonymous for extras chusim. The art of the month was chus for rebelling the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Art of the month in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. I'll just say it again. I was just thinking it now. I used it in the past. I don't know if it worked or not, but I used it in the past and I forgot about it until we learned the Gemara yesterday of Einoim Milvade. That's a zgul of somebody's in a bad situation. Whatever it is, you're sitting in court and there's a ruling about that. You just have to completely concentrate that there's nobody but the Rebbeinu Shalom. That's the zgul of Reb Chaim Volozhiner, and it works for simple people as well. We're holding Moir the Kesugya, Daf Samaches. Huh? Oh, Flatbush, Gevaldik, Kol HaKavod. Rabbi, I was thinking to myself, you guys get together, how you doing? Have a seat. Tzadik, just sit down. I was thinking that they get together every Shabbos Mevarchim. Shabbos Mevarchim Adar. What if, repairs Chaim Levine, think about this, you and the Chevra, what if you do it at a normal hour, at 9 o'clock at night, not live, but on a screen? What's the difference if it's live and not live? They'll never know. In the middle, I'll just throw out something to you guys and what's it called over there? Manistritz. The Rav is here. I heard he's in Eretz Yisrael. Huh?
How would you tell him to sit down if it wasn't live?
We wouldn't stand up if it wasn't live. Okay, anyway, there's a mile of live, I'm not saying, but it's not something that's sustainable. I don't think, like, to go watch a shir at 1 o'clock in the morning every like this, you can make a real chevra. Why don't you try real chevra, 9 o'clock every night at a certain place? No, Akiva Ziegler says no. Gotta say no. Try it. Akiva, try it. Oh, that's right. It's not Paris. It's also Akiva Ziegler and the other Chevra. Akiva, Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? It's not the same. I know it's not the same, but try it. They tried it. He's trying to say something. Okay, put on your volume, then we can hear you. Okay, there's Lakewood. I think Lakewood is every day. No, not every day. Okay. We're holding by Omer Rebbe Kiva the last few words on Daf Samach Zayin on Beis. It's really Daf Samach Ches today. Mamish, I got the stuff, unbelievable stuff. We learned in the Mishnah on Daf Samach Zayin Amud Aleph, it says like this. Rabbi Kiva Oimer, Rabbi Kiva says Mishum Rabbi Yeshua. And that's the Nekuda here. Who does Rabbi Kiva say it in name of? Rabbi Yeshua. And the Gemara is going to ask, it's not Rabbi Yeshua, it's Rabbi Eliezer. Okay? That question, one of the longest questions in Shas, that brings us through a lot of stories, the Geshmaka stuff, it goes all the way to the end of the Amud. From the top of the Amud to the bottom of the Amud. The point is that it says in the Mishnah over here, Mishum Rabbi Yeshua, you heard this in the name of Rabbi Yeshua. The question is, it was Rabbi Eliezer. And for that, the Gemara is going to say, it was Rabbi Eliezer, but he didn't understand what he said. He heard it from Rabbi Eliezer. But then Rabbi Yeshua explained it to him nicely. What happened? Shnayim loitim kishuim. Two people are doing magic, sorcery, kishuf. Echad loiket pater. The same guy could do it in two different ways. One is completely pater, one is chayev, he gets a misa. Ve'echad loiket chayev. You gather, the Mishnah is talking about gathering cucumbers. One you're pater, one you're chayev. Ha'isa ma'isa, if you literally lifted up these cucumbers and put them in a box, physically, real, chayev, then you chayev misa. Ha'ichez is einayim. You pulled a Copperfield where you pretended that the Statue of Liberty is not there, it disappeared, and everybody chaps that it's there just for however he did it. He did something, he moved your seed in a certain way that you can't see it anymore. Potter. That's a chizit sinayim. That's why we had a magician last night. He did some gewaldige stuff. He ate those blades. I don't know how he did it. I was watching him closely twice. He did in both shiur. It looked like it went into his mouth, unless it dropped. He's eating blades, 8 blades, and then he pulled them out of his mouth, and they were all tied to a string. Okay, I'm sure you look on Google or whatever, and you can figure it out. But he said that according to the Ashkenazim, that's mutter. According to the Sephardim, there's a big issue. There's an issue to do magic according to the Sephardi. He said if you're a Sephardi, you have to walk out. According to the Sephardim, you have to tell the secret, and of course he doesn't want to tell the secret. So I figured out one of his tricks after he left, and I told Oilam that he guessed one guy. He said, what do you like to do? He says, I like to play music. He says, if I guess, what's your favorite song? Don't tell me. I'll guess it. And he wrote down in front of me, Tzama Nafshi. And then he shows it to me, he says, okay, no, what's your favorite song? And the guy had nothing, I guess it's Tzama. How did he do it? I figured out how he did it, because before, it was all, he made him write it actually before the shir started on a piece of paper, and he folded a piece of paper, he gave it to him, but he was able to peek at it, because he did it to me also. He asked me to write the name of my favorite Rebbe, so I wrote it down, and I noticed, whatever, wait, I don't want to say because he might be watching, I don't want to divulge this. The point is that if you know the trick, it's just like it's a nice trick, everybody knows it's a trick, it's not real kishuf, it's okay according to Ashkenazim for sure, and according to Sephardim if you divulge the answer. Okay. So now we're holding on top of Samach Ches Amud Aleph. Rabbi Kiva asked the Gemara, Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi Yeshua Gamela. He didn't learn it from Yeshua how to make this kishuf with cucumbers. He learned the trick, the kishuf trick of cucumbers, he learned from Rebbe Eliezer. As we're going to see, Rebbe Eliezer literally did kishuf, even though it's an issa d'oraisa to do kishuf, to teach him. Here, you want to see? Here's a bunch of cucumbers. Here, and I'm gonna pick them all with kishuf. And here goes story after story. This is like one of the longest, literally a whole amud of a question, until we get to the actual question. This is literally a day or two before Rebbe Eliezer was nifter, and Rebbe Kiva and his friends went to visit Rebbe Eliezer right before he passed on. He was sitting in a kinoif. This is a kinoif. What is it called in English? A canopy bed. You're sitting in a canopy bed. And they were sitting outside. Now, in order to understand this is one of the saddest things in all of Shas. There was the famous story of Tanur Shalach Hanoi. This is a Tanur, but this is Shalach Hanoi. Hanoi is, hold on, this guy. If you look closely, what happened was they had a oven that was chopped down into pieces and was put back together with clay, with sand. Typically an oven is makabel tuma, it's a kli, but if it's broken down, it's not makabel tuma. So the question is, what if you put it back together again with cement? Rebbe Eliezer says this is tar, Chacham say it's tamei. Rebbe Eliezer brought proof. He had the water going in the opposite direction, he had the walls of the base medrash cave in, he had the trees, He had a Baskel come out and say the halakha is like you, Rebbe Eliezer. But the majority argued on him, and he didn't bend. And because he didn't take it back, they put him in Cherem. So you have the Galad Dar is in Cherem. You can't talk to anybody. Nobody could go to him. Nobody could learn from him. Terrible situation. And he never took it back until the day he died. We'll see. And throughout Shas, the Gemara keeps on saying, but he was in different times. The Gemara talks about it. It says, it doesn't even say the story. It says he's in Cherem, Menuda, whatever the lashon is, Meshumad, Menuda, Menuda, until the day he died. So here they are. The people involved in the whole thing, getting him into the Nidoy, they come to visit him. They're Talmidim. As the Gemara is going to say, his mamish nifter, his Levi was a Motzei Shabbos. So this is hours before he died. We'll see. Literally within the story, he's going to die within the story. He was nifter, I shouldn't say die, I don't like the word die. It was Friday afternoon. And Hurkinus came, his father's really sick, but still wearing his tefillin, like they used to do in those days. Everybody wore tefillin until the last very moment of Shabbos. So he comes to remove his tefillin. Gar boy the Yosef ben Azifa. This seems to be the theme of Rebbe Eliezer's personality, tough personality. He yelled at him, and he left ben Azifa with an embarrassment. He left the room. Omer lahem l'chaveirav. So the son, Hurkinus, tells his friends. It's like, he thought to himself, okay, my father, it's his last day. So he says, in English, they would say, Ta is fakalacht. He's fakalacht. He lost it. Mamish lost it. But he said it loud. But he didn't mind that his father hears. He's fakalacht. He's not going to understand anything anyways. He said it loud. I think he lost it. Omer lahen, Rebbe Eliezer heard that. He says, you lost it, your mother lost it, not me. I have all my marbles. What about the food that you didn't make? Basically, Taisus explains, they were busy with him. He was sick the whole day, so they couldn't make food. So what are you so busy with taking off my tefillin? The worst one's the worst, I'm wearing tefillin on Shabbos. It's not the end of the world. The most it is the Rabbanon. What about the chant you're going to put up now? What about the fish you're making? That's the Issa Deraisa, Skila. Don't worry about my tefillin, worry about the food. Oh, so they realized he didn't lose it. He's sharp. They realized he's with it. Once again, he's in Nidui, he's in Cherem, you can't sit next to him. You got to give an 8-foot distance between you and him. So he's sitting 8 feet away. Wow, what happened today? Why did you come visit? We came to learn Torah. Where were you for the last few years? We were very busy. It's a nice way of saying, you're Cherem. They didn't want to insult him. We didn't have time. Here once again, very sharp, very tough. I don't know if you're going to have a natural death, all of you. Unbelievable. And how's my death looking? You have the worst death out of all of them. As we know, Rebbe Akiva's skin and flesh was hot metal on his skin. Terrible, terrible Yisur. Rebbe Eliezer took his 2 arms and put them on his heart like this, whatever it was, something like this, like this. Omar, my 2 arms are like a Sefer Torah. When you do glila, you wind it up, you can't see any of it. It's all hidden, it's all within inside. I learned a lot of Torah and I taught a lot of Torah. I learned a lot of Torah, and you should know the amount of Torah that I learned, and compared to what my Rabbeim are, it's like a dog sipping water from the ocean. It's not a trillionth is not even the number of how little it is compared to an ocean that's miles deep, hundreds of miles long, and a little dog comes and licked a little. It's garnishment. That's how much Torah I took from my Rebbe. My Torah is a fraction. Harbe Torah limati v'lechisruni talmidai elo kimimchol b'shveiferes. This is one time in Shas that I could actually show you what a Mchol B'Shveiferes is. It's brought down a few times in Shas as an example. But here it's like literally, it means in English they call it mascara. Whoever has it, found one of these. This is the thing, and you pull it out. So whatever little is left in the brush, that's how much. Here against my white shirt, like that. That's how little I learned. It's something. It's not the same muscle as the ocean. So the question that I was trying to figure out on Shabbos, I still don't have a great answer. If somebody has the answer, maybe you think about it now. What's this muscle of a dog licking from the ocean? A drop in the ocean. What's a dog licking from the ocean? What's licking? What's a dog? Why a dog? Why licking? I'm not clear. Also, the difference between the dog licking from the ocean and Kim Chovish Referes. There seems to be very different examples. The best I was able to come up with, this is mamish amiratzis, just a dog is a limited amount that even if he wanted to take as much as he could possibly take, there's only that much. He could only take 1 liter of, how much could he do? The other thing is, when a dog licks from the ocean, he doesn't even take it 1 drop. As soon as he puts his tongue in, he realizes this is salt water. He just spits it right out. So I don't have a good shot. I don't know. Somebody, I'm sure, I know the Ben Yoyo that talks about it. I didn't see anything that really resonated with me. Somebody has a geshmaka shot, I would appreciate it. Okay.
You should have a shot.
No, work on it. You have the whole shir to work on it. I learned 300 halachas in this here. Here's a guy's arm, and all of a sudden he has a white spot, a tzaras. I learned 3 halachas. 300 halachas. And not a single person ever asked me a question on this. I learned 300 halachas. Some say it's even 3,000. Oh, we're getting there. We're trying to ask a question. Did Rebbe Akiva, as it's mentioned in the Mishnah, learn how to pick cucumbers from Rebbe Yeshua, from Rebbe Eliezer? Here it is, Rebbe Eliezer. I learned 300 halachas in kishuf of kishuim, of gourds, of cucumbers. Only once did one Talmud ever ask me a question about it. We were once walking on the way. Rebbe, teach me something about these cucumbers. So I said something. You have to know what to say. Nismala kol hasada kishuim. The entire field filled up with cucumbers. Here we got a little video. Check this out. Here it is. He said one thing, and kishuf, just filled up with cucumbers. Omerli Rebbe lematani t'nitiyosam geshmak. You taught me how to plant them, but I don't want to go around now collecting them. Lamdeni akirosan. But the truth is, as we're going to see in a second, Rebbe Akiva wanted to know, how does it look like? How does it work? I have to know when there's a witch doing these kind of kishuf. I have to know if to kill them, not to kill them. So how do you harvest them? Here we go. Check this out. Okay, Givaldik. That's how you harvest them. So I said one thing. It's all with his mouth. You say it, and it works. Okay. So first of all, here we have that Rebbe Eliezer taught Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Akiva asked Rebbe Eliezer straight out, how do you do cucumbers? And he showed him how do you plant them and how you harvest them. So it's Rebbe Eliezer that taught him, not Rebbe Yeshua. Right here we have the question really. The Gemara continues. I wanted to do this. Says the Gemara, Omruloi Hakadur. Sorry, I forgot to pull it out before Shir. We have a kadur, a ball. The question is as follows. In those days, they didn't have, they put a needle here and you pump it up with air. In those days, it was open like this. And they would fill it up with, cotton, whatever they had to fill it up with. And that's how they played ball. Shmuel, I don't think you could play basketball like that. You could maybe throw a ball around a little bit. The question is as follows, because it says in the pasuk. Where's the pasuk? Here. What's a sack? Sack, same word. Sack is a bag. Open. It has opening in the top here. The sack has a outside and inside, but there's an opening. Something like this. It's a kli that has a inside. Mikabel tuma. What about a ball? A ball. Once you fill it up with all this stuff, this is real. I had to, first of all, destroy my son's basketball for this year, and my wife's pillow. Which was worse? I don't know.
And her mascara.
Scary got Rishus. I got Rishus for this pillow. I said, "Yeah, do you have one pillow you're about to throw out?" Yeah, okay. So they take this, and they sew it together, and that's it. So the question is, since it was born, when you were creating it, it was open. It was like a sack. But Lamais, at the end of the day, you put it back in, and you sew it, and it's like this. Is this Mikabel Tumah now? There's no toich. That's question number one. Question number two, let's say it's like this, and it becomes Tameh. Do you have to remove all the stuff? You know how annoying it is to take all the stuff out? It's terrible. So how do you do? How are you going to be Matar this? Put it in the mikveh. Could you put it in the mikveh as is? The problem is chatzitza. The water is not going to get to every single nook and cranny inside the ball. You have all this stuff there that's disturbing it. So what do? Now, these are all questions that they argued on throughout Rebbe Eliezer's lifetime. And as we see, Rebbe Eliezer doesn't give in so easily. So he asked him,
You want a pshat in why he did that? The dog?
Yeah, I want a pshat.
I think what he's saying, maybe.
Oh?
The dog is very loyal. So he's giving the Muslim. He's saying, I was loyal to my Rebbeim. I was a person. I was hungry. I didn't eat anything. You know the Gemara, where he has bad breath because he was saying he had no food. Even so, I came to Shia, I had nothing. But you had a problem with me. You didn't come to me. You wouldn't even. It's hard for you. I get it. It's like in an ocean. But you found a way. You didn't come. You didn't have time. I did it for my Rebbe. I was like a dog. It was very hard for me to come.
But I only got one drop. I only got one drop.
Right. And I came, but I had loyalty to my Rebbe. But you didn't have loyalty like a dog to your Rebbe.
It says that he calls himself a dog because it's Ganai. He doesn't want to see his Talmidim of Ganai. That's why he uses a different mushal for the Talmidim.
He's a dog, but his Talmidim are...
himself, he could say Ganai that I'm a dog. But for his Talmidim, he doesn't want to say that.
He ran after them like a dog, and they did not run after him like a mekchol. A dog runs from house to house. The mekchol is stationary.
Everybody with their pshat. Givaldik. You said this when the Ben Yoyada says it? Givaldik. Okay. Shalom Aleichem. I know you're new over here. What's your name? Yeah.
Ben Ranana.
Ben, all the way from Ranana. You came together with our Ranana friend, Yishkoya. Who else?
Stefansky over there.
Who? Shalom Aleichem. I didn't even notice you. Thank you for pointing him out. Another Ranana guy. Givaldik. I don't know what that was, but okay. Shalom Aleichem. All right, so we're holding by Kadur. So they asked him, what do you say about a leather piece that's the Mikabel Tumah when it has a toich? But right now, they sew it together. Va'imos. Va'imos is like one of these, I don't know what it's called in English, like a shoe tree kind of thing that the shoemaker uses. You know, today they use it's a piece of metal usually, the form, they put the shoe on it and they're able to knock nails into it and do all sorts of things. In those days, for whether they didn't have the metal, they didn't have the wood, but they made it out of leather, and they'd fill the leather with something. I don't know how strong that is, that's why maybe they had shoes the way they had shoes then. Va'imos. But once again, you have a piece of leather in the shape of a shoe, in the form of a shoe, that's closed. It's no longer, once upon a time it was open, but now it's closed. Va'kameya, you put an amulet, you put it inside a piece of parchment. Utzra Amargolis, they used to believe that, or maybe it worked, I don't know, that they take a gem, put it inside a piece of leather, and hang it on the cow's neck, and that gave the cow some relief from whatever disease it had. Umishkolis ktana. They had to be very accurate with the weights they used, so in order that it shouldn't get dinged, they would put it in leather. Mao. What's the halacha? Is it Mikabel Tumah or not Mikabel Tumah? Is it considered as a inside or not? Omer lehen hein tmein. They are Mikabel Tumah. I'm not retracting anything. And you dunk the whole ball with the cotton and everything into the mikvah. That's how you retire it. That's another question that they argued on. They know it was the answer from the previous answer, but they want to know maybe he retracted. Minol shal gabi ha'imos mau. Here's a picture. Here, this shoe right over here, you can see there's a shoe on the left, completely done. It's done. Here's another shoe, but it's on the form. It's sitting there on the form. It's 100% done, but it's on the form. Now, in order to remove it from the form, a 1-year-old come over and then take it off the form. Is this considered a done shoe or not done? Since it's still on the form, it's not in the shoe box yet, they didn't take it off the form, perhaps it's still missing one element of the creation of the shoe. Amar lahen hutar, it's not a shoe. It's not a shoe until you take it off. That is the final makeh b'patish, so to speak. It's not a shoe. And therefore, says the Gemara, that was the last word he ever said in his life. V'yotza nishmasi b'tahara. The last word he said was tahar. That's how his neshama went out, talking and learning, saying the word tahar. Omer Rabbi Yeshua Raglov, Rabbi Yeshua, who started this whole business back in the day. What?
Lil started it.
I think Rabbi Yeshua was the one that put him in. Okay, I don't remember the story then. I thought Rabbi Yeshua. Right, but didn't Rabbi Yeshua get up
Lil
and
was
this?
the one who did it. He put him in the Torah.
Huh? Right, but he is fine. But you see, Rabbi Yeshua did have. Rabbi Yeshua was part of the issue. Omer Rabbi Yeshua Raglov Omar. Hutar neder. Okay, he's nifter. That's it. Now we could go. Otherwise, you can't bury him. You could bury him, but there's different halachas that you do to somebody that's in a chayrim. He's not in chayrim anymore. Hutar neder. Huh? To be matir is Torah. Okay, I hear. I don't know about that, but okay. L'motzai Shabbos. I thought the Torah is Torah. I didn't know you could put Torah in chayrim. L'motzai Shabbos. Pogabay Reb Akiva min kisar lelud. Okay, so he's nifted in Erev Shabbos, and now Motzei Shabbos is the funeral procession. So Reb Akiva bumped into him. It's unbelievable Gemara. Reb Akiva hurt himself. During the Levaya, he hurt himself until he was bleeding. So everybody, I hear Reb Nachman asking the question, I'm sure you're thinking about the question. There's a general question, today it's very prevalent, especially in New York, cosmetic surgeries. You know people, I've seen people, I thought I recognized them, and they look very different than what they looked like 2 years ago, and then I find out that they went through a whole cosmetic surgery on their face. Different face. Panim chadash is ba'olukan. Mutter or aser. So Moshe discusses this, of course. And then what's the question? The question is that you're not allowed to do chabala on yourself. You're not allowed to hurt yourself. So Moshe brings a raya from this Taisus right over here. Check out this Taisus. It says like this. Here it's on the screen. As Taisus, what about the isser of going to Levaya and hurting yourself? You're not allowed to cut yourself in pain over the dead. Says Taisus leka. The Mishum Torah covered. He wasn't hurting himself over Rebbe Eliezer. He was hurting himself about the Torah, as the Gemara explains. You see from here, the Gemara is going to say in a second, I have a lot of cash and I can't. 1 minute. So says Ramoshe, you see from here that if you have purpose in your hurting yourself, the purpose is the tsar in the Torah. The purpose is because I want to look better. I think it's better for shidduchim or whatever it is. It gives me self-confidence. Then it's mutter to do surgery. The Torah only says you're not allowed to hurt yourself in the pain of a dead person. There wasn't a pain of a dead person. The pain of the Torah.
So
in the pain.
All those years when he couldn't go learn from him.
No, then it was over. Now you realize it's over. Now it's over. It's always like that. It's always like that. Time out. Anytime a gadol's nifter, you say, "Oi, I can't believe what a shait. I wanted to go to him. I wanted to ask him. I wanted to get another bracha. I wanted to get a picture with him. I should have done it. You should have." That's when the tsar hits. Yes, ask anybody. Look at the Gemara. The Noda Yehuda, when he was maspid the Pnei Shua wrote in Tzavot, "Don't be maspid me." So he brought a raya from this Taisvus that hey, if you're allowed to even cut yourself because of the tsar of the Torah, so you're allowed to do something like that. That seems like an isser. You're allowed to also brought from here right that you're allowed to give.
Put a tattoo on for the Torah.
No, it says in the Torah. It says in the Torah, do not do it al mace. It says before al mace. On a mace.
You're not allowed to cut yourself. No.
No. Al mace. It says you have to read the pasuk. It says you're not allowed to cut yourself al mace. It doesn't say don't cut yourself.
Empty white tattoo will be fine, right?
Zok the Gemara. Oh, one minute. We have a lot to accomplish, and we're not even in Amud Beis. Says the Gemara. Posachol b'shura v'omar Avi Rechav Yisrael Parashov. We just had in the Gemara the other day. My master, my father. This is the chariot of Klal Yisrael. And listen to this. Imagine you're somewhere, you're on a trip, you're very, very thirsty. You go to the vendor, he has a nice cold bottle of water, and all you have on you is a $100 bill, a 200 shekel. He said, I'm sorry, I don't have change. Now what? Your 200 shekel is worth nothing. You can't drink 200 shekel. It's garnished. He says, I have a lot of cash. I don't have a guy that's going to give me change. I have a lot of questions in Torah, a lot. And here he is. That's it. I'm done. The Rebbe is gone. Alma, as the Gemara finally, after all this, Alma Rebbe Eliezer Gamra. He learned how to do the kish of cucumbers from Eliezer, not Rebbe Yeshua. And says Gemara, Gamra Rebbe Eliezer, you're right. First he learned it from Rebbe Eliezer. V'loi Sabra, he didn't understand, he didn't comprehend what he was told. And this is Rebbe Akiva, Rabbi says. It's not like, oh, just say these 4 words and then you're done. It's a process. He didn't get it. Then Rebbe Yeshua went and so therefore, you see from here, interesting, I'm just thinking about it now. The one who actually explains it to you well and then you get it, that's the one that taught you that piece of Torah. You might have learned it before in yeshiva, but it was like, it was a little cloudy. The one that teaches you now today, he's your Rebbe.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know what I'm trying to say. I have no idea. I'm just looking at you. I have no idea. Says the Gemara, how did he do so? How did Rebbe Eliezer make cucumbers? Those who understand, those who understand Psukim Chumash and they read it well, understand. Those who don't. I can't help you. If you do, it says you're not do kishuv. How did Rebbe Eliezer make a bunch of cucumbers for nothing? Says the Gemara, Lislame Shani. He could have told them, here, you say this and this word, you say this and this Shem Hashem, it'll work. No. When you show something physical, Lislamed Shani, people learn from hands-on. He made kishuim. Even though, listen to this, even though it's Issa D'Oraisa. Issa D'Oraisa, you're allowed to do Issa D'Oraisa to show your Talmud. So Rebbe Akiva should have the knowledge of what a machshashefa is. What does she do exactly? Is it magic? Is it this? This is how you do it. And this is how you plant it, this is how you harvest. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. You're not allowed to do it to learn how to get free cucumbers, but you're allowed to do it to understand and to teach, and that's what Rebbe Akiva did. Whoever wants, it's here in Eretz Yisrael, and they want to continue this kind of thing in America as well. We're not done yet. Open that Gemara immediately. No, I'm just kidding. Tell your parents, you could go over here, you could get a free family horse riding thing for the whole family in Moshav Mesilat Zion. All you have to do is get onto this QR code right over here. Give Alte. Says the Mishnah. Oh, sponsors. There you go. Oh boy. We don't have time for sponsors. Turning of this daf. Innovations LLC. In honor of Elchon Press official. Zchut for Akiva Simchum and Fega Shilach 4. Reviews by Zchut Chaya. Thank you to Rebbe Stefansky. Adar Global. Experts in international financial services. And Zchut Refuah Satino Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim Rabboisai. Don't forget the famous video. Maybe a little less volume. This is a Ben Meyer stealing money from his parents to buy wine and meat right at a grocery store. The parents had within it. So I'm trying to get more. Better now than later. Have a wonderful Ben Soirer Umayra. Okay, Shkrag official. The Ben Soirer Umayra. May Masa Nasi Ben Soirer Umayra. So think about it for a second, Rabbi Isai. If you came just for this, it's Kedai. How old is a Ben Soirer Umayra when he does this crime? 12, 13. Until what age could he be a Ben Soirer Umayra? 13. Very good. How do you know Reb Nachum? Last cycle. You remember from last cycle?
What did you say? 13 and a half?
13 and 3 months. Very good. Ben Soirer Umayra, you have to be at least 13. But I know we all think it's like a younger age. Ben Soirer Umayra, Meimasa Nasa Ben Soirer Umayra, Mishiyovish Tisaris Achiyakiv Zokon. From the time he has 2 saris, which are Simonim, until he has Hakovas Zokon. The beard is rounded, it surrounds. Hatachtoim, we're talking about the lower beard, veloya elya, not the upper one. Ela shedibra chacham v'lo shenikia. Chacham spoke in a nice way. Shenemar kiel ish bein. Bein veloy bas. First of all, you should know we're talking about a son and not a daughter. Bein veloy ish. Now, he's not as the Gemara is going to explain, he's not an adult. He's a semi-adult. He just became an adult. Katan, potter. But if he's 12 years old, 12 and a half, he's completely potter. Why? Shloi ba l'chlal mitzvah is because he's not even chayven in a mitzvah. Says the Gemara, Katan menol the potter. Bring me a source in the Torah that if you're 12 and a half years old, you don't die. Says the Gemara, menolon. The Mishnah just explained. He's not chayv in mitzvah. So what do you mean I need a source? What source? V'su. Where in the world do we see, or let me read it better, where do we see that the Torah ever punished the that over here we need a pasuk to say that he is potter. We don't see anywhere in the Torah that a kid under bar mitzvah is chayv in anything. Says Gemara, no, I have a very good pshat. This is what I meant to say. Did anybody ever think that this Ben Sari Meir did something wrong to the point you have to kill him? All he did is he stole money and he bought some meat. So it's shot. Al Shem Soifen Erag. The point is that we kill him today because what we know he's going to do in the future. A kid like that, who steals at this young age to fill a certain type that he has, he's addicted, that kind of personality doesn't stop. We see it today also, a guy that's really addicted to drugs, steals from his parents, etc., ends up in situations many times where he kills people. He goes into people's homes, he robs. Eventually somebody's going to die here. This addiction. So why wait until then? Get rid of him now. He didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. We have to prevent a future. It's like a roidef kind of thing. I'm thinking like now, did the guy do anything? He just came in with a gun into somebody's house. He could potentially kill someone. For that you're going to kill him? Yes. We don't want anybody to die here unnecessarily. This guy, we foresee the future. Now, I want to point out something very interesting. Not interesting, important. This Ben Sari, before you don't just kill him. First you give him malchus. If that doesn't work and he kept on doing what he wanted to do, then you see how addicted he is and how crazy he is, then you kill him. But first you give him malchus. 99% of the people are going to stop after 39 malchus.
What does he have to do in order to get malchus?
He has to steal money from his parents and buy meat.
The same exact thing?
Yeah, that stuff. He's doing that thing. And the Gemara continues, since we're only killing him for something that he didn't do yet, but it's the future, so therefore, maybe get rid of this 11 and 12-year-old. It's the future. It's not that he did something wrong. Void, ben v'lo yish, katan mashma. Ask the Gemara another question. The word ben seems to me like he's a youngster, a ben, a little kid. Here, where's this pasuk? Yeah. Kiel ish ben seems like he's a katan, not like you said he's a gadol. Amar Rav Yudam Rav Domakro v'chiyah. Listen to this. V'chiyah ish ben hasamach l'gvarasis shalish. He's learning. Rav is learning, and remember this. This is until the bottom. Rav holds that the word ish is not referring to his father. The way we read the pasuk is a father has a son. Well, of course a father has a son. How else was this kid born? Of course he has a father. The word father is not referring to the word ish is not referring to the father. The word ish is referring to the son. He's a ben that became an ish. That's how Rav learns it. Ben hasamach l'gvarasis shalish. He's not a complete adult. He's right there, like right by the bar mitzvah, a couple months after. It's like a crown. The hair forms like a crown. Talking about surrounding the bris, but not the beitzim. This is a super interesting halacha. What if a kid has a kid? A kid fathers a kid. Then his kid, the father is 12 years old, he has a kid, he has a baby. This baby, obviously, think about it. Who's mechanachim? A 12-year-old. So what's going to happen to him? The whole marriage, the whole mother-father situation, terrible. He becomes a Ben Sari Meir. Okay, you can't kill him. Why? Because he's not the son of a ish. He's a son of a minor. Now, there's a question that we're going to see in a second. Can a 12-year-old father a child or not? Machlokes. I looked it up. You can say that. There are a few fathers in the world today, well, very few actually, that are 11, 12 years old. There's one in Australia. I found a few.
There are mothers who are 8.
There are mothers who are, I looked it up last time. 8? Okay, fine. So, the question is,
Even over the time he's been married, the father's already.
yeah, but when he made the Isser, when he fathered him, that we don't care about what happened 12 years later when the father became 24 years old. That's not negetas. So he takes the same exact words that Rav learned, same exact words. It says Lish. It's talking about the father had a son, not the son is a ish. The father of this kid is a ish. He's already bar mitzvah. Lish ben v'leila ben. Says Gemara, you just learned those two words ish that is referring to the age of this Ben Sarah Meir, not to his father. So how come now you're using it for the father? Says Gemara, let me just show you how it looks. Whoops. Now let's do it again. This is the pasuk. Kiel ish ben. Takes it. Okay. Now, we said the ish is going on the ben, not on the father. It's going. What's the age of the son? But we also said it means that the son has to be the age of it. That he's a father. His father was a ish. So the Gemara says, okay, what I could do is, if that's the case, it should have said ben leish. It should have said that the son. How old is the son? He's a ish. If the word ish is going on ben, so the word ish should have came after ben, not before ben. Right? It doesn't fit in so well. I know that Noam was thinking as I'm saying it, like, it doesn't fit into the words. Ish ben. That the ben is a ish. No. If you really wanted to say that the ben is 13 years old, you should have said ben ish. Let's say, Mike li ish ben. Shema min look at the Rav Chizda. I can learn 2 halachas from here. First of all, that the father of the Ben Sarah Meir has to be a father, has to be 13 years old. Also, the Ben Sarah Meir himself has to be 13 years old. As a Gemara, but if so, but it makes a lot more sense now that it's saying that the father of the Ben Sarah Meir, Li'ish Ben, in order for a kid to be as Ben Sarah Meir, his father has to be 13 years old. He can't father him when he's 12 years old. Says Gemara, here, look, there's extra look over here, there's extra lamed over here. That extra lamed, I learned the 2 things. If I just want to say that the son is an adult, I should have said Ben Ish. What's Ben Leish? My Leish Ben? Shema min otarti. Says Gemara, pligi the Rabba, but this argues on Rabba. Omer Rabba, kotan einin moiled. Rabba holds a minor cannot have a child. Shenemar im ein leish goyel. We're talking about a person that steals money and then he swears that he doesn't owe any money. So the halach is, once he does tshuva and he admits that he owes the money, let's say he stole money and he admits that he has to pay the principal plus 25%. A chaimish. But it says in the pasuk, what if he doesn't have a relative? We already did this, when we're talking about Yerusha. If you can't find any, first of all, how do you find relatives? The easiest thing is you just announce that I won the lottery. Oh, they all come in. But let's say nobody showed up. So you go up one generation, you go out. You go up another generation. You'll always find something. You can go all the way up to Yaakov Avinu. What do you mean? Every Jew has relatives. Elo, because we're talking about that the ger, he stole from a ger, and the ger died without children. Only an adult, katan, but if this ger, let's say, is a minor, I don't know, he doesn't have children, his father died, I don't know. Okay, we'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.